Hi everyone, it's Koinzell here. So today I'm going to talk about the Hadum Holy Potion. This potion is actually one of the most resource intensive part of the farming of this game. Especially if you're in Hadum Nightmare. You can easily spend like 3000 plus potions a day. Not joking, that's how fast you can spend it in Hadum Nightmare, provided you one-shot the mobs there. But the good news is that when Hadum is first released, the consumption rate is actually very manageable. I remember I did not really have any issues in terms of running out of Hadum potion. The only challenge of running out of Hadum potion is really when you start having like Hadum Nightmare. That is the one. I mean, even for me right now in the foremost zone, in the Chaos foremost zone, I'm still able to maintain more or less maintain my Hadum potion consumption via the daily white pearl package. There's a small package that you can use white pearls to buy Lightstones. So before I go into the pay to win aspect of it, which is still something that you can manage, I'll just want to talk about the Hadum potion itself, right? In terms of Lightstones, how many Hadum potions you get from the different grade of the Lightstones. So first off, you have the red grade of the red Lightstone. You'll see here right off the bat, a red Lightstone can easily give you Choff. Okay, Choff and a little bit more. If you look at the bar here, it's Choff and a little bit more. Okay, so take for example, when you open say 20 at one go, instead of giving you 240, it will actually give you 241. I mean, if you want to be exact on the number. Okay. For yellow Lightstones, basically it gives you one Lightstone, or maybe you can say it's slightly less than one, since it is, it drops below here. Okay, will there be a point where there you go. So there will be a point where one yellow Lightstone doesn't give you the potion, because of the fact that one yellow Lightstone is about 80% of a potion. Okay. I don't have orange Lightstones here, so let me just go to the use some of my Lightstone fragments. Let's see where we can get a orange, just to check. Okay. Actually, I want to set it to sell. Oh no, sorry, that's relic. Okay, that's the case. So we will auto consume the green, blue, purple, and yellow. Okay. I also want to show you guys, like on average, right, per 500 fragments. If I'm not wrong, it's one round is 500 fragments. How many Hadum Holy Potion you will get on average? Yeah, it's 500 one round. So you'll see that the range is typically something like 2 to 3. 2 when you don't get the yellow Lightstone, 3 when you have a yellow Lightstone. More or less, that's the gist of it. I'm just waiting to get an orange Lightstone so I can show you guys the percentage that it gives in terms of Hadum potion. But you see, sometimes you get more yellow Lightstone, sometimes you get any. So I will say on average, 500 Lightstone fragments will give you about 3 Hadum potions. Yeah. It's quite lucky that we still have not gotten any orange so far. We got red before we got orange. Okay. There you go, orange Lightstone. I actually want to have. Should I try to get 2? Nah, I think we are good. And yes, I know pink Lightstone is coming to Korea next week. So anyway, I do have the necessary materials already, so I don't think it's quite an issue. I still have 300 red Lightstones stored away here, stashed away here. Okay, let me just go back to the Hadum potion creation section. So in terms of the Hadum potion, right? What effect it gives, I think I've already briefly mentioned in the Hadum Guide 1. You can refer to it over here. But I'll just quickly run through. If you see here, right, when you're low on your Hadum potion, you can actually go back to Tier 1. Tier 1 will give you 50% SP boost and 50% knowledge boost. Definitely much lesser than Tier 3, 500% is like 10 times. At Tier 2, you have 200%. Tier 1 is only 50-50. So I will say this, if you don't have a lot of Hadum potions and don't have a lot of Lightstones lying around, maybe you have to consider doing a lower tier first. But bear in mind that for us, when Chaos Gear was introduced, they actually unified the Hadum Spoils of War such that it's the same across 1 to 3. But for the longest time, right, for almost a year in Hadum, it actually has been different. The loot is actually better when you use tier 3. So that's something to think about. Obviously, I am using tier 3 right now. But for you guys, my recommendation is you can still afford to go tier 3 when you're at the lower CP maps. Because the Hadum potion consumption rate is based on how fast you get SP. Okay, it's based on how fast you get SP. So that is the reason why the lower CP maps, right, because the mobs itself have lower XP, your consumption rate is not as high. But that being said, I would still highly recommend that you guys go ahead and clear all the low CP maps when Hadum content is first released. Okay, go and find a good spot that there's not much people, which should be doable since now you have the entire Hadum, more or less the entire Hadum continent with Hadum maps available for you to farm. Okay, so yeah, sure, if you want to pump your level, you can go to the highest CP map, but my recommendation is go to the lowest CP maps first, or the low CP maps first. Get your knowledge up first, because the SP difference at this point in time between your low CP maps versus the highest CP map that you will have when you get it on 29th September, the difference is not as huge as like for us right now, where in the Chaos Zone or in the Hadum Nightmare the difference is like a few times. So right now, while your highest CP map XP difference is not as huge, it's not as drastic of a difference between that of the low CP maps, please go and farm your low CP maps. Okay, get your knowledge up. My knowledge is 100% for all. Okay, that's very important. Go and get your knowledge up so that you can get all the CP that you need. Okay, and the other tip I can give in terms of Hadum potion management, right, is when you're in the low CP map, you can still afford to use tier 3. If you're in the high CP maps and you find that you are running out of your potions, you can slightly adjust down your tier potion. Okay, it's very important to get the Hadum Spice of War though, because that is where you get your Chaos Crystals to pump up your Stone of Balance and your Rift Stone. I'm not sure what will the official name be. It sounds like it's going to be Rift Stone. Okay, so this is very important. You see mine here is level 202. And that's like 2000 boosts after 1 year. This is after 1 year of farming. Okay, so obviously even level 100 itself is very substantial. It's a 1000 CP boost if it's level 100, and you get 2% damage reduction as well. So this is something that, this is also the reason why people farm Hadum all the time now. Not just because of the XP, it's also because of trying to get the Chaos Crystals to pump this up. Okay, so that's a little tip that I can give to you in terms of how to manage your Hadum potion consumption rate. Okay, now another concept of using your Hadum potion, right, is you can try to make it such that only during hot time, if you don't have enough Hadum potion, what you can do is only during hot time, then you use the tier 3. So at least you make it more effective during that 1 hour or 3 hours, sorry, that 3 hours. During that 3 hours time, you make your leveling or your SP farming more effective by using tier 3 then. And then for the rest of the time, if you don't have enough potions, you can use tier 1 just to continue farming. Provided that you guys have the same update as us right now, where the Hadum Spice of War are the same between tier 1, 2, 3. I can't say for sure whether or not they will be generous and nice to you guys, and like for example for tier 3 itself to give you guys the same loot as tier 1. That's really hard to say right now. But they did give us a whole year where we have to use tier 3 to get the best loot. So it's possible that they don't give you, they still give you the different loot based on the different tiers of the Hadum Potion protection, the holy protection that you're using. Okay. Now let's go back to the Lightstone creation, or rather the Hadum Potion creation using Lightstones. Okay, we already covered that red Lightstone is 12.05%, thereabout. Okay, gives you it gives about 12 potions, 12.05 potions per red Lightstone. Orange Lightstone is typically about 3. If you look at the percentage, right, to be more exact, it's something like 2.6, 2.4, or 2.5. Yeah, thereabout. Not 2.5, maybe something like 2.6, or even 2.7. Okay, yellow is 0.8, but for simplicity's sake, let's just say that red is 12, orange is 3, yellow is 1. Now let's talk about purple. Okay, so purple, right, if you look at the percentage involved here, basically it's about 4 purple Lightstones giving you 1 Hadum Potion. Okay, because the first one gives 1 already is because my bar is already almost full. Okay, yeah, you see here. No, actually it's about 3 if I look at it this way. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's about 3. If you look at the percentage, don't look at the figure here, look at the percentage here. We are at this little this arrow here, right? So when we use 3, we are almost back to the arrow. So I can say it's about 3 purple Lightstones for 1 Hadum Potion. Okay, I'm not going to go into like blue Lightstones how many potion it is. I think this is just enough for you guys to assess whether or not to save your Lightstones. In fact, in the past I already said that you should save orange onwards, and when Hadum was getting closer I told you guys it's okay to save yellow Lightstones onwards. Alright, and I've always been saying save your fragments until once you've gotten full red, you should be saving your fragments. In future, right, it's going to be very easy to get the perfect red Lightstones, because red Lightstones are going to be so common when your Hadum Potion concentration rate is so high. Okay. Obviously, when Hadum is first released, you're not going to get so many red Lightstones, but you will eventually get there. Alright. Okay, so now the final thing I want to talk about in terms of the Hadum Potion creation and consumption rate, etc. Consumption I already talked about. You know, low CP maps have lower consumption versus high CP maps and versus Hadum Nightmare. Hadum Nightmare is a nightmare in terms of the consumption rate. Okay, you really go there, it's a place for wheels to really farm 24/7. But even then, you can't farm 24/7 in peace if you have like people constantly going around killing, etc. So that's another factor to consider. Okay. So like I said, right, sometimes the best way is use your hot time scroll, use your tier 3 Hadum Potion protection, and go the highest CP map that you can to utilize your hot time. Okay, when you have no hot time, go to your low CP maps and farm up your XP, your knowledge. And that farming of the knowledge, right, when you use tier 3, it's going to be much faster to farm your knowledge. So that's another thing to consider. Okay, my recommendation is farm the low CP maps first, use tier 3 potion. For hot time, when you guys initially get it, right, when you initially get Hadum, right, it's still okay to use hot time on the low CP maps, but if you want, you can still go to high CP maps during your hot time. Okay, that is really up to you how you want to manage. I'm just giving you the tips in terms of how to lower your Hadum Potion consumption rate and how to maximize it in terms of the time spent. Alright, okay, now I was talking about the daily red Lightstones, how you can get them. So let me look for that. Okay, so there's a filter here where there are different things that you can buy using Black Pearl. You get Lightstone fragments. There is a package here, a cash package here, without any purchase limit. Okay, where by spending 11.76 SGD, you get 15 red Lightstone chests and 30 orange Lightstone chests. So how many Hadum potions is that? We have 15 times 12. And then, oh, actually, I don't need to calculate this. I actually did a math on this previously in order to calculate whether it's worth it. So this chest alone gives you 263 potions. It's a cash package. But personally, I don't spend on this cash package. Unless, I only spend on this back then during Nightmare time. When I was farming Nightmare all the way because that consumption rate is crazy. I also bought some of this. Because it gives you red Lightstones, orange Lightstones, World Boss, the Hadum World Boss additional extra entry tickets, as well as white pearls and black pearls, but it's double the price of this. In terms of absolute number of Hadum potion, this will still give more. Okay, but actually the best value that we have is from this, where it's like the purchase where for 7 days every day you get to claim a certain number of the Hadum Holy Potion. But it won't be so soon when you guys get this. This was also something that was quite late for us because, like I said, right, initially the Hadum Potion consumption rate is not that high. You guys don't need to worry. F2P players will have the time and opportunity to slowly use up your Hadum potions. Okay. It's only after Hadum Nightmare was introduced for quite a bit of time that this package was introduced. Because it's really Hadum Nightmare and the foremost zones that will really burn up your Hadum potion. In fact, even the foremost zones don't burn it up as much as the Hadum Nightmare initially. Not like the Chaos Hadum, Chaos foremost zone that we have now definitely has more SP than the previous foremost zones, the dynamic CP zones. So the consumption rate is higher now, but back then, when Hadum was first released, it's actually not so bad. Yeah, this music a bit loud. Okay, so when Hadum was first released, right, the consumption rate is not an issue. I remember I did not have any issue in terms of running out of Hadum potion at all. Okay, the only issue is when Hadum Nightmare comes. Yeah. So for you guys, right, you don't need to worry about it. I mean, for F2P players, maybe you will need to start the resource construction earlier. The resource management earlier. But for the pay-to-win players, the Hadum potion is not going to be an issue per se initially. Alright? But don't worry about it. I already shared with you guys what is the best way to manage your resources in terms of how to use, when to use your tier 2, tier 3, tier 1, tier 2, etc. Alright, and anyway, initially when you're farming the low CP map using tier 3 Hadum potion, you still not have an issue in terms of the resources unless you're a brand new player. Only a brand new player will have issues. If you're a player who have been playing global for since release, right, since launch, right, you're not gonna have an issue, provided you have been watching my videos and you have been following my advice in terms of saving your Lightstone fragments and your Lightstones. Okay. Alright, now this thing, right, if you buy all of it, it's actually 63% more than the 63% more Hadum potions than this. So when they release this, I was also buying this every week. You'll see that you can see from the screen just now, I have not been buying this for a long time actually. I do not have any of this, as you can see, and I have not bought this for a very long time. Because ever since Chaos Zone was out, right, we have been farming Chaos Zone. The consumption is not that high, and on top of that, recently we had a 2nd anniversary event. So I used up all my boss rush tickets, and I finished all my boss rushes, and I had quite a number of Lightstone fragments. I think I had like 4 million Lightstone fragments. But of course, I have already spent all 4 million already. So the consumption rate is still there for the Hadum Chaos foremost zones, but this is still a very far thing for you guys. You guys really don't need to worry about that yet. Alright, okay, so in fact, how I have been maintaining my Hadum potion, it's not through this cash package or even the daily one that that I just showed just now. It's actually through I can't see it here. Okay, wait, let me see if I can see it here, because I already bought it today. It's a daily purchase. Okay, so here you go. So for 275 white pearls, right, you can get 5 red lightstones and 12 orange lightstones. This is the one that I always spend every day on my white pearls, unless I just don't happen to have white pearl. Yeah, I know my black pearls is very low now because I just spent on the lucky shop. And I probably will be buying a bit of the black pearl package, not by a lot, since, you know, I have already said that I feel like quitting on this game. So I'll probably cut down the spending by a lot, but I'll just make sure I have minimum amount of black pearls. And the other thing is also we are getting the new Zodiac dungeons next week, so I probably have to buy some of the Valor token packages just to make sure I don't fall behind too much in terms of CP. Yeah. Okay, so in terms of Lightstone, even for me right now, my management is really through this, daily through this. Okay, obviously when I farm 24/7, it's going to be more, the usage rate is higher than this. But because we have ocean content now, by spending some time on ocean, right, it also relieves the consumption rate of this. Alright. There's also desert for you guys in future that will also relieve some of the burden in terms of the consumption rate of the Lightstones. Alright, so to end the video, I'm just going to feed them all and create the holy potions. Unfortunately, we can't see because I'm in banquet, and in banquet the message on the item is like constantly popping up. You know what I mean, right? It's like this is for something that you got since quite long ago because of so much loot. Okay, there you go, 149 Hadum potions. I mean, just to share with you guys, right? I think on my start account, I only have like 100 plus, 200 plus, and I'm still able to farm Hadum for quite a bit of time. Because also on the new account, they also give, there's also events where they give you a big holy potion. And the other thing to talk about of holy potion is that your bounties, the bounties that you do every day, once Hadum is released, it's going to have the Hadum holy potion as well. So it's going to have the small grade, the normal, medium grade, and then a large potion. So that when you do your bounty refresh, it will be very lucky to get the large potion. If you can't get the large potion, then at least the medium one. It's still good, because the medium one will give you about 3 full bars of your Hadum. When I talk about the bar of Hadum, this is the one I'm talking about. If you see, right, full bar is here. You see the amount you need for tier 3 is very high. But it's still okay, because this is in terms of how to pump the bar up. How fast the bar depletes depends on the XP that you are getting and where you are farming in. Okay. So when I say about the bounty events, right, the bounty giving you special Hadum potions that only last a day. They will expire if you don't use them. So very similar to the hot time scroll concept, but the duration is 24 hours instead of 20 hours, because hot time scrolls are all 20 hours. So for this, right, the small potion will give you 2 bars. The medium potion will give you 3 bars. The large potion will give you 4 bars or 6 bars. I can't remember. I think it's almost 6 bars. Yeah. It's been some time since I got that large potion, so I can't really remember. And then there's an extra large that is only through events, and yeah, it's only through events that they give you that. So every day you get 2 bounties, so 2 additional chances to get those full Hadum potion. And when you are farming the low CP map, that medium sized potion is gonna give you that 3 bars is gonna last you very long. So that's why I say initially you guys don't really need to worry about the resource consumption rate. At least it's not as bad as what we have right now if you go Hadum Nightmare. Okay, so yeah, this has been a lot longer than I have expected. I probably have to talk about the Stone of Balance another time, but I hope this is helpful to you guys in terms of your resource management for the Hadum Holy Potion and how best to optimize it. Alright, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you guys next video. Bye.